Welcome to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about all kinds of cool things. And we like to explore ideas that matter. And today we are very excited because we're going to be talking about the St. Paul Art Crawl. This is Connections Radio Show, and I'm your host, Lori Fitz. And the goal of our show is to explore those wide range of topics that challenge us to see ourselves, our community, and the world around us, that get us thinking, get us connected, get us imagining, get us in conversation. And that's what the Art Crawl is. It allows us to have great conversation, allows us to explore all of St. Paul. I am so excited this year because we have so many areas, and we've got over 41 locations, which is just amazing. And if you've not been to the Art Crawl and you're a little intimidated, what happens? What do you do? It's just a big party where you can go from place to place, get to know artists, buy art for your own. And when you buy art, you're really investing in the community and the artists so that they can keep doing the wonderful art that they're doing. So it's a party in the spring and in the fall. This year it's April 26th, 27th, and 28th. Friday is going to be from 6 to 10. Saturday is from 12 to 8 and Sundays from 12 to 5. And you can get a Metro Pass when you go to the stpaulartcrawl.org. You can hit on a little – I did it last night. You can hit on this little click thing where you can get the pass for Saturday and for Sunday. And what's cool about it is once you have that pass, as many people as you want come with you are all good under that pass. So you can make it a party with your friends and family. So as you know, or if you've listened to our Art Crawl shows before, what we do is we bring artists in to talk about the art that they do and things that are happening and what they think about art, and hopefully get you all excited about going down to the art fair at the end of the month here. So today we have Jean Kushner. Hello, Jean.
Hi, Lori. And
Jean does marvelous guitars. You create them and you do all kinds of you've got a background in engineering, but you celebrate creating cool guitars.
That's right. I'm a luthier.
There you go. We also have Mary Jo Smith. She is a potter, and her work is whimsical and delightful.
Good morning, Lori. Thanks for having us.
Oh, so glad to have you here. We have Ryan Werbolowski.
Yep.
And Ryan is has won the art cover. You must go and see this art cover, and you must get a catalog because Ryan's art is also whimsical. It's surreal. You're a pop surrealist. Mm-hmm. It has commentary. It has imagination. And I'm looking forward to talking to you about your art a little later.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We also have Jeffrey Hansen. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Morning.
You have mixed media going on right now, but you also have a background in photography, in abstract art, furniture design.
You name it.
It'll be cool. Great conversation. But we're going to start today with Jean. Jean's been on our show before, so welcome back, Jean.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about how you create these beautiful guitars, custom guitars.
They're custom guitars. So I build custom instruments, acoustics and electrics. I'm in the Northern Warehouse, high atop at the 5th floor where I live and I work, so my shop is there. These are all custom instruments, commissioned. Lately, I've been doing a lot of electric guitars. So I'm doing a series of electrics called the Element Series, based on fire, water, earth, and wind. I've brought a fire guitar with me now.
Oh, and it's great. It's got this these almost like tiger lines.
That's right. I'll hold it up to the mic so everybody can see it.
We are on Facebook if you want to go shut up to Facebook.
But you're right. It's an orange-colored guitar with these tiger stripes on it, and it evokes fire. I don't know if you can hear this.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
They're all commissioned, so a musician will come to me and say, I want this such-and-so kind of guitar. In fact, I'm building one for a guy right now who came in with some 100-year-old walnut he got from his grandfather's farm, and we're going to build a guitar out of it. So I'm about halfway through the project. And he wanted it to kind of evoke a Keith Richards kind of vibe, so we have some skull and crossbones inlaid into it. But it's whatever the client wants, so they're custom instruments.
Connection to the land, connection to the family, and yet, his own little riff on the crazy things that he likes as well, which is nice.
Another guitar went out into the wild last year. It was a Fire and Ice guitar that a client purchased, and he's shipping it back up here so I can show it at the art crawl.
Good.
He's in Florida. He's going to be up here visiting, but couldn't make it in time. So he's actually going to ship me the guitar so we can show it off because it is a really nice instrument.
What would be the difference in sound between a water guitar and a fire guitar?
Probably not all that much. They look different. The water guitar, let me think about that, is mahogany with a maple top. This fire guitar is alder with a maple top. So it has a slightly different sound, but they're electric guitars. So once you crank it up or tune it up, they sound pretty similar. And then recently I got involved with a friend, a local in the Lower Town area, and we were doing some brainstorming over some beers.
Which is the best time to brainstorm?
It's beer storming.
I will use that in the future.
And came up with a bunch of ideas how to market instruments. What's a good way to do it? And Mark Renslow said, well, why don't we get some of the local artists to get involved somehow? Maybe they can paint the guitar.
Wow.
So he came up with this nutty idea of a local artist painting the instruments. And then we slept on it and decided, let's do it.
So you've got about 4 artists that you're working with for the St. Paul Art Crawl that will feature it in their studio?
That's exactly right. So we get local artists, to paint the instrument. These are electric guitars. Paint them, and then I complete the build, turned it into a good, high-end, playable instrument. And the marketing plan is to build the instrument and sell it on its own as an art guitar, but also with a companion piece by the same artist. So the two instruments hang next to each other in their studio or their living room or wherever, and they kind of match each other.
I just love it. And I'm going to encourage folks to kind of do the Find Waldo, but find the guitar at these various artist places. Dan Henson, who we'll be hearing next, he's doing some cool photorealistic art. No. Jeff Hansen. There we go. Sorry. We've got Dan Hansen and Jeff Hansen. So Dan Henson is doing the photorealistic art.
That's right.
And we don't know, but we know that he's done like tigers and goldfish and whatnot.
That's right.
But we don't know quite what he's going to do for this one yet.
We'll see at the art crawl.
Okay.
We'll see what comes up.
So look for Dan Henson, and he does the photorealistic. Tacumba Aiken is going to do abstract and kind of tribal. Now, where is Tacumba again? He's in the Lower Town, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lower
Town Lofts.
Lower Town Lofts. If you don't know Tacumba's art, it's absolutely delightful. It's abstract, and I'd call it tribal, and I am looking forward to see what his guitar turns out to be. Then you've got Lisa Matson, and she's going to do mosaic.
Yeah, she's going to do a glass mosaic on top of an instrument, and we'll smooth it off, lacquer it up, so you're not going to shred your arm when you're shredding.
Good idea. But it kind of what is it when you put bedazzles?
It's going to be a bedazzled guitar. Yeah, maybe Nashville's the place for that one.
I would think so. I haven't seen too many bedazzled. So, how do you take this art and actually create it to be a musical instrument? Is there any challenges, like with something that has like shards on it and whatnot?
Yeah, there is. With hers, there is. With Jeff's and the other artists who are just putting ink on the instrument, it's not that big of a deal. We spray lacquer over the top of it and then buff it smooth, and it's nice. What Lisa's going to do with her glass mosaic is bake the pieces of glass before she embeds them. Mm-hmm. And by baking them, it kind of rounds the edges a little bit, melts the edges, so every little piece has a little rounded edge on it. And then we'll lacquer over the top of it.
Now, once we go through the art crawl and we can see it in their artist environment, so they'll have their art along with the guitar, you're going to have something that's going to take place at the Lowertown Arts basement.
Yeah, that's right. There's a gallery in the Northern Warehouse in the basement. It's called LUA, Lowertown Underground Artists. It's a gallery set up when the Jax building got shut down.
So you all went underground?
We all went underground, literally, because it's in the basement. And there's a rotating space, rotating availability of a space down in the basement. I drew the lottery, and I have a month there to show custom art guitars, and that's the corporate name for the Art Guitar Project.
And what you'll have is the actual guitar that you have co-created with the artist, and then the painting that goes with it?
Yeah, and the companion piece. Yeah.
Whatever the companion piece. It may be a painting, it may be stained glass, it may be...
We leave it up to the artist. One of the really nice things about doing the custom art guitars is the melting pot, bringing everybody together and working on a project. You know, there's artists that do various different styles of art. There's me who builds instruments, and we put the two together and come up with a really cool, expressive, playable art.
Did you make some discoveries along the way? I mean, you were, beer storming, an idea. But an idea is one thing, and actually implementing it, there are things that happen that maybe you didn't even expect.
Yeah, I'm learning patience.
Yes, that's collaboration.
That's right.
Yes.
And you can't push anybody.
Yeah.
Deadlines just make people twitch. So you just say, here's what we want, here's your parameters, and there's wide parameters. And, take your time, and whatever you come up with that you're happy with, we'll be happy with.
You sound like my herding dog. Yeah. There's a little gentle, little bark, little nip, just to keep the project moving forward.
Funny thing happened yesterday when we were getting ready to come to the show. Jeff called me up and said, hey, I'm going to be on the show with you. I had no idea he was going to be on with me. And it's really cool because Jeff is one of the artists for the guitars. I brought that instrument here, too.
And those Facebook listeners, or actually the Facebook watchers, can actually see it. It's
really? Okay, so I'll hold it up to
there you go.
Someplace.
Yeah, there.
And that's Jeff's guitar.
And it's very abstract and very cool. Yeah. And in the next segment, we'll talk more with Jeff about his work. But before we end this segment, why don't you give us your website?
Okay. The website is studio24guitars.com. I'm in Studio 518 at the Northern Warehouse. And Art Guitars is customartguitars.com.
Terrific. And for those of you that want to learn more about the St. Paul Art Crawl, go to stpaulartcrawl.org. That's the full spelling of stpaulartcrawl.org. And it's going to be a terrific event at the end of the month. So stay tuned, and we're going to hear about Jeff's work next. So we'll have a short break, but come back soon.
In 1977, NASA launched the Voyager spacecrafts, satellites sent from Earth to study the farthest reaches of outer space. Aboard these Voyagers were the Golden Records, time capsules filled with images, sounds, and music that tell the story of our world. Astronomer Carl Sagan said, "The launching of these records into the cosmic ocean says something very hopeful about life on this planet. But can we still find that hope? If you could send a message out to the universe today, what would you say?" This April, join Sandbox Theater for the Golden Record Project, an intimate event 42 years in the making. The Golden Record Project is a search for connection, a hopeful call to other worlds, and a declaration that we are here. The Golden Record Project, April 12th through May 4th at the Sandbox. Tickets and information at sandboxtheateronline.com. The Golden Record Project. What would you share?
Hi, I'm Donna Minter, founder and executive director of the Minnesota Peacebuilding Leadership Institute. Please join us Wednesday, April 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Riverview Theater in Minneapolis for LunaFest, our women's film festival for community peacebuilding. We'll show 8 internationally curated short films by, for, and about women. We'll raffle off 7 baskets filled with thousands of dollars worth of gift cards, merchandise, and service vouchers. This year, Minneapolis City Council Vice President Andrea Jenkins will be our honorary LunaFest chairwoman. $25 gets you 8 short films and festivities. $50 gets all of that and the after party at the Riverview Cafe. The best part is the proceeds benefit Minnesota Peacebuilding Leadership Institute programs and our Racial and Economic Equity Trainee Scholarship Fund. To learn more and purchase tickets, visit mnpeace.org and find LunaFest under events. That's mnpeace.org. See you there.
I'm Peter Ratcliffe from the Eastside Freedom Library, and I'd like to tell you about an historic place on Payne Avenue. Brunson's Pub is a place where history and passion are a part of every detail, starting with the menu. The Payne-Phelan neighborhood arose from Dakota people who lived here for hundreds of years, and pioneering immigrant communities, Irish, Swedes, German, and Italians, who made the East Side their home. More recently, waves of new residents from Asia, Latin America, and Africa continue the rich immigrant history and are revitalizing the community's cultural life and economy. Come experience Brunson's Pub at 956 Payne Avenue and grab a discounted gift card when you mention that you're an AM 950 listener or a supporter of the Eastside Freedom Library. Be sure to check out brunsonspub.com.
You're listening to Connections Radio Show. We're making the connections here this morning. We've got Gene Kusher, who is giving us some good music, and it's on a guitar that he made. Gene Kushner. Woo! And today we're talking about, thank you, Gene. We all should do a little clap there. So we're talking about the art crawl. And if you like that music and you like to play the guitar, Gene's the man to talk to. He's got great guitars that he can custom make, and it's an adventure to go into his studio to see all the cool guitars he has there. You can go into his studio during the St. Paul Art Crawl, which is April 26th, 27th, and 28th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, it kicks off at 6 and goes till 10. Saturday, full day from 12 to 8. Sunday, 12 to 5. And don't forget, you can get a Metro Pass for Saturday and Sunday, and you can ride the bus for free, and you can bring your friends along. Just go to the stpaulartcrawl.org. You can download your pass, and you can bring your friends. That pass is good for whoever you want to bring with you, whether it's 2 or 5. They'll honor that and let you ride the buses throughout the St. Paul area. So, Gene, welcome. Thank you for the music.
Oh, thanks a lot, Lori.
We also have Mary Jo Schmidt.
Mm-hmm. Good morning again, Lori.
Good morning. And Mary Jo does lovely, whimsical pottery, and we'll hear more about her work a little later. We have Ryan Werbelowski.
Good morning, Lori.
Good morning. I'm looking forward to talking to you in the next segment, where we'll be exploring how you did the front cover for our the catalog this year. And this is your first big break.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is your intro to the art scene. So I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more. And check out Ryan's cover. You can do that also going by the stpaulartcrawl.org. But in this segment, we are talking more exclusively with Jeffrey Hansen. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Morning, Lori.
Good morning. Jeffrey is the honorary catalog cover in the competition. And he shows at the Tilsner Art Lofts in the Lowertown area. And Jeff, as we had alluded to in the last segment, worked on a guitar that's going to be – you're going to show it in your studio.
That's correct.
So tell me about working on this guitar. This was sort of a new thing for you to work on an object.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here, I will show it to all of you on the radio here who can see it. But otherwise, yeah, there's
Facebook there.
Here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And for those who want to see it, you can probably go on to someone's website eventually.
Yeah, Custom Art Guitars, it's on that website.
Terrific.
Yeah, and I'll eventually have it up when the guitar is completed.
Yeah, and I do note that there's circles, and I want to circle back to that later.
Okay.
On your guitar. So tell me about the experience of doing that.
Being with painting, it's always mostly done on flat surfaces, canvas, plywood, whatnot. So working with this guitar was a nice challenge because of the bevel edges that are around the edges. And I didn't know that was going to happen until he gave me the body. And once I actually started it, it was kind of the process of how the paint wound up getting really muddy because of like what I normally do as far as my process when the surface is flat. So having to go back in and kind of do things with an actual brush was fun.
When I go to your website, and your website I'm going to give for folks to take a look at, and that's it's Jay Hansen, and that's HANSEN artist.com.
Yep.
You share in your about kind of your journey with art. And what I'm so impressed with, this is your 51st art crawl.
That is correct.
And you love it. Mm-hmm. A lot of work.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot that goes into it because similar to Gene here, I have a live-in studio, so I'm able to live and work in the same space. Mm-hmm. So I've opened my door for the art crawl every single time since I moved into the Tilsner in 1994.
And in 1994, in those 90s, you were doing a lot with elements, right? You're doing big, abstract, kind of darker, working with sand, working with kind of a grainy, cool. And you've kind of gone full circle. You're getting back to some of that as well.
Yes, I am.
So tell me about that.
Well, it's been a long journey, obviously. Lots of things going on in life between then and now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm kind of circling back to some of the ideas of erosion and adding elements of the earth, so sand. I've also been incorporating all sorts of different metals that are being incorporated and layered into the paintings.
The mixed media end of it.
Yeah, like a mixed media, yep.
And along your journey, you also did some photography, went out to parks. And did some great stuff. And that'll be in your studio. You're going to feature some of your photography
always.
as well.
It's always a chunk, for sure. Yep.
And then you came back to the abstract that you felt, but from what I read about you, you had kind of more chunky sand, and now you're doing more fine sand. Is that some of what you're looking at?
You can kind of say that, sure.
Yeah. So tell me about that.
Each piece is going to wind up being something different. I never really know. I mean, that's the kind of the process of being an abstract painter is the process itself will speak to you as you're working with it, and you just kind of like let things happen with a little bit of control and a little bit of accidental happiness that you see it as visually working, so you just keep it.
Are your pieces as large as you initially did? Initially, you had really pretty big pieces, right? Mm-hmm. Have you gone back to having it be?
I'm working there. I've a few here and there. I've dabbled and gotten into a little bit more on the larger scale, but for right now, mostly medium and small medium, I guess you could say, as far as the sizes. Mm-hmm.
And I noticed in your mixed media that the circle is very prominent, and you have different ways of playing with the circle. Circling in time, coming back to perhaps some of your earlier work, but you also explore kind of the cultural visions of circle. And when folks come to talk to you about your art, might that be a conversation you have?
Oh, yeah. It's very encompassing. With the circular designs that I started about this time last year, it's been doing very well. A lot of people really gravitate to them, and they see in all sorts of different things. One of the main things I see participants and viewers explaining to me is that they see like spinning wheels or maybe records. So with just continuing with working with these circles, I'm hoping that people kind of maybe push the boundaries beyond just what they're visually seeing and what they think they're interpreting to maybe, like you're saying, like circling back to things and circle of life and circle of friends, that kind of thing.
And it becomes interesting, I would think about what a person sees, almost a little Rorschach. What do you see in this? What does the circle mean to you? And you get kind of an idea of a person's visual interpretation and how that impacts who they are. So you'll have some images. You've had stuff at the Mayo Clinic. You've had it at Bethesda Hospital with some of your earlier photography. Congratulations on your 51st year here. Anything you want to make sure that the audience knows about your art as you invite them to come see your show?
Oh, just that I'm always open for the art crawl, and I'm at the Tilsner Artist Lofts in Lower Town, Unit 209.
And the St. Paul Art Crawl is the 26th, 27th, 28th. And go to the stpaulartcrawl.org for more information. We'll look forward to having you come back right after a few commercials.
Hey community, this is Cian Thomas from ABC Realty. We represent a diverse team of realtors here at ABC, and we're rooted in your community. We are the only brokerage with an intentional focus on the east side of St. Paul. We specialize in helping first-time homebuyers and people of color to find the home and the neighborhood of their dreams. We have agents who speak Spanish and Hmong, and to keep pace with the ever-changing demographics of the east side, we're adding agents who speak the languages of our communities. We're accessible and we're available for you. Face-to-face and over the phone, we'll help you each step of the way, whether you're buying or selling. We'll discuss the value of home ownership and how it can be leveraged to build your future. We are here for you, ready to put our experts to work for you. So learn more about us here at abcrealtytwincities.com. That's abcrealtytwincities.com.
It's the age of artificial intelligence. 85-year-old Marjorie, a jumble of disparate, fading memories, has a handsome new companion, me, a hologram who's been programmed to feed her the story of her life back to her. If given the chance, what would you remember? What would you forget? Jordan Harrison's new play explores the mysteries of human identity and what technology offers. Prime Productions presents the play Marjorie Prime at St. Paul's Park Square Theater. Performances run April 19th to May 19th. For tickets, visit parksquaretheater.org.
I'm Connie Burek, co-host of Awakened Living Infusion radio show. Join Michelle Kitzmiller and I as we focus on all aspects of health, wellness, spirituality, and growth from a mind, body, spirit, emotion perspective. On the Awakened Living radio show, we will discuss stress, self-care, fear, happiness, beliefs, communication, joy, pain, trauma, and more. Join us for the Awakened Living Infusion radio show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Let us share with you ways to infuse vitality into life.
Connections Radio Show is all about tapping into our hardwired hunger to connect. We examine meaningful connections to ourselves, our community, and the world around us. By opening the door to innovative insights by a wide variety of interesting guests, we'll make the connections to something bigger than ourselves. Join me, Lori Fitz, your host of Connections Radio Show, and together we'll make the connections. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Northeast Minneapolis is known for its creativity, and you'll know exactly why when you eat at Hazel's Northeast. Their creatively prepared comfort food will have you coming back week after week. Breakfasts like biscuits and gravy, granola pancakes, and brisket hash. For lunch, homemade soup and one of the best Reubens in town. And don't miss the daily risotto or Chef Ali's ever-changing dinner specials. Come on in. Bring the whole family. Hazel's Northeast delivers real good food. Family owned at 29th and Johnson in Minneapolis.
I'm Peter Ratcliffe from the Eastside Freedom Library, and I'd like to tell you about an historic place on Payne Avenue, Brunson's Pub. Experience history and passion through the delicious menu, reflecting the East Side's diversity. The choices are limitless: salads, sandwiches, burgers, and shareable plates. Visit Brunson's Pub at 956 Payne Avenue and grab a discounted gift card when you mention that you're an AM 950 listener or a supporter of the Eastside Freedom Library. Be sure to check out brunsonspub.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Hunter Haas. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high near 40. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 46. And Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 51. EatLocalMinnesota.com is your way to find unique local restaurants offering one-of-a-kind food and atmosphere. Your choice is setting from casual to trendy. Great spots for date nights, evenings with friends, or business occasions. Make sure that the money you spend stays local. Find out more at EatLocalMinnesota.com.
Yes, you're listening to Connections Radio Show, where we are jamming. We are jamming this morning. I'm Lori Fitz, your host of Connections Radio. And we're getting ready for the St. Paul Art Crawl, April 26th, 27th, 28th, all over St. Paul. We've got 41 locations, and it's a party to see art, get to know artists, buy art, do something that makes a difference in our community by investing in artists so that they can continue to give us the great art that they do. And art has so many good things. It not only is good for our health, it's good for our thinking, it's good for our home, it's good for our music. It connects us. It gives us something meaningful. It makes life worthwhile to have art. And with that, I've got great artists who are joining me today. You were listening to the infamous Gene Kushner.
Hey, Laurie.
On guitar.
Thanks for letting me play.
I love you when you play. It's great. He's with Studio24Guitars.com, custom guitars. You want a custom guitar? Talk to this man. We have Mary Jo Smith.
Good morning again. Thanks, Jean.
Good morning, Mary Jo. And we are going to be talking about her pottery. She's at the Front Avenue Pottery in the Como area. And she just does whimsical, wonderful things that you must see. And she also hosts other artists that do great things. And we'll learn about that in the next segment. We were just talking with Jeffrey Hansen, who's the honorary catalog cover competition. He's over at the Tilsner Artist Lofts. Go see his circles. Find the circles.
Please.
Find the media circles and see the guitar.
Yeah.
That is part of the project that brings art to guitar to life. So check out Jeffrey's guitar. And in this segment, we're talking with Ryan Werbolowski.
Hello.
Hi, Ryan. I just am absolutely charmed by your art. It is thoughtful. It is detailed. It has lots of satire, commentary. It is fun. It is interesting. It also has some poignancy that has points of view if you look at it very closely. I want to encourage folks to go to Ryan's website, Instalowski.
Instalowskiart.com.
And that is spelled INSTALOWSKY art.com. Now, when you go to his artwork, you can kind of get the flavor of all the fun things that he does. One of the things that I like is when you go to the visual arts, he's got all these wonderful machines. The first machine is how to squish a coin, I believe. And it's these – they're shiny. Tell me about how you get them to be so shiny.
With a lot of those, I kind of make the sketch with a number 2 pencil, and it's a little bit of a secret process, but
don't want to get.
I'll start out with that, and then maybe people will find out.
Well, you'll see on these drawings that there's like houses. There's sort of cars. There's a telescope car. There's a traveling car. There's and they all have these kind of interesting – there's the aesthetic machine. Mm-hmm. You've got an opera house car that also can have plays and theater and musical accoutrements. So you go into Ryan's world when you go into this art that has – it seems to have its own set of rules and different worldly opportunities.
Yep.
Tell me about the car that chases other cars.
The car that chases other cars.
There's 12 of them, as I understand.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on my own cars, but
it's fine.
Yeah,
it has this little pointy thing that you have a chase, and you're trying to get the flags off the other the cars, and whoever has the last flag standing.
Yeah, kind of. Mm-hmm.
So tell me about how you first started doing your doodles. Have you always wanted to do art?
Yeah. I kind of started off with I really liked picture books, like story books for children when I was like really young. Like when I was 3, I used to get printer paper and kind of draw pictures, and then my dad would draw a picture, and then I'd draw a picture, and we'd make a story, and I'd staple it. And that's my first memory, really, of creating art.
You were self-published.
Yeah, I was.
As a young child. You're 26, and you say that you are a native of Minnesota who likes rock climbing, working out, skateboarding, and learning other languages, but your passion is art.
Yes.
You keep yourself busy. You do furniture design, landscape sculpture, acrylics, but your favorite is the fine colored pencil drawings. where you've got surrealistic vistas, mechanisms, and melanges.
Mm-hmm.
So when people look at your art, tell me some of the things that they say when they check your art out. What are what's the feedback that you get?
Well, they usually I've had dozens and dozens of artists that they've told me it looks like, and they'll say Salvador Dali,
yep,
Dr.
Dali-esque,
Seuss,
yep.
this and that, and
Disruptive, is that another?
Very overwhelming. A lot of stuff going on. Mm.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but I find that intriguing, and I love the fact that I understand it a little bit better now that you did stories when you were a kid, because it seems like each of them have the potential to have a story with it that takes you into a different world of creativity. And you've looked at different fields, but you're feeling like the art really is the one that gives you the most joy,
mm-hmm.
and you're getting more of a sense of confidence about being an artist.
Yes.
This is sort of a breakthrough to have you be nominated and then selected as the catalog cover. Tell me what that means to you, as having a chance to have your art all over St. Paul on this catalog.
Well, yeah, it was definitely a really, really great surprise, because before that I was sure some people thought wow, my art is really cool. Family and friends would comment on Facebook, and it was more of I don't know. I stumble on words sometimes.
No worries, yeah. No worries. You express yourself well through art. On the cover of the catalog, why don't we talk about some of the various descriptions? Now, it looks like you've got a snake coming out on one of the machinery that's illustrated. Tell me a little bit about the snake that seems to be coiling out of the machine. It seems like you've got organic and mechanic that are combined in some of your work.
I think that's a sushi roll that's coming out of that purple. Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
A salmon and avocado roll.
I'm now hungry.
Me too.
Now, you've got something also called the bridge, but it doesn't look like it's a safe bridge to cross.
Oh, no. It's more of a desert. Definitely not safe.
You like to play with irony in your art.
Sometimes, yeah.
There's a piece, if you go to his website, where there's these rubber ducks that are swimming in it looks like some sort of it's a sculpture of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So there's water going into the sculpture. There's ducks that are swimming around. But then you also see toasters. And the toasters are floating and they're plugged in. And there's this sense of this is probably not a safe thing. And yet you've titled it Normalcy.
Yeah.
So there's an adventure of you stop and you go, yeah, normal is weird. Yeah, normal is kind of scary. Why do we feel safe around normal? Because if we look closely, there's a toaster that's plugged in and there's water being poured on it. And is that something that we really want to splash around in? Mm. So is there a favorite image in your cover that you like when you were creating this piece and you were submitting it?
Well, a good portion of it is cropped out because it had to be a perfect square. But it's more of a
rectangle. To be a normal square.
Yeah. I really like the upper right, kind of all those shapes going into that.
Tell me explain it to the audience so that they know what that looks like in that upper right-hand corner.
Well, it's a box with a bunch of holes with triangles, circles, and squares in it, and there's a bunch of it's like one of those IQ tests where you put the shape, you have to fit the shape into its corresponding hole.
Yeah, the square and the star and the triangle. Make sure that but yours don't fit.
Well, some of them are circles going into square holes and triangles going into circle holes and whatnot. So, yeah, not all of them really fit.
Well, it makes it much more creative to see how they could fit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling that you want to keep exploring art as a career, and where is that going to take you, do you think?
That's hard to say. I can't really predict the future.
Sure.
I hope it takes me great places.
In your family's reaction, you said that your family will look at it and are very supportive. Mm-hmm. With your dad, who had told stories with you and you created stories, how does he think about your art and how is he encouraging you?
He encourages it a lot. Very a lot of people in my past were like, yeah, that's a very bad idea to pursue art and this and that. But he's been one of the people who've really encouraged me to pursue it.
On your website, there's a place where you show your pencils that you get down to the nubby. You really like to, use up the pencil as much as you can. Mm-hmm. But you also say that you're collecting it, collecting all the little scraps and whatnot, and that they're sort of brewing in your head of what you might do with all these pieces. Mm-hmm. Have you done mixed media?
Yeah.
And what kind of mixed media do you like to do?
Well, I like to do these wooden kind of puzzled. I haven't really found out a name for them, but I do like skylines, cutting out different pieces of wood and gluing them onto this big backdrop and making kind of like a mosaic out of wood.
Sure.
I've done a little bit of painting, and I've dabbled in furniture.
So if folks want to come see you, you're going to be over in the east side, as I understand, and you'll be at the Flat Earth Brewery?
Yep.
And if folks want to see your art, why don't we give them your website again? That's Instalowski.
Instalowskiart.com.
That's right. And go over to the Flat Earth Brewing on the east side and check out the cool work that you're going to have on display. And your art is for sale as well.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you're listening to Connections Radio Show, and we're going to be coming back with one more great conversation about art and taking a ride over to the Como area. So stay with us. Come back. Learn more about pottery in the next segment.
It's the age of artificial intelligence. 85-year-old Marjorie, a jumble of disparate, fading memories, has a handsome new companion, me, a hologram who's been programmed to feed her the story of her life back to her. If given the chance, what would you remember? What would you forget? Jordan Harrison's new play explores the mysteries of human identity and what technology offers. Prime Productions presents the play Marjorie Prime at St. Paul's Park Square Theater. Performances run April 19th to May 19th. For tickets, visit parksquaretheater.org.
Victor's 1959 Cafe in South Minneapolis is a locally owned and operated restaurant offering traditional Cuban food. Open for breakfast and lunch daily with dinner Tuesday through Saturday. For night shift workers, Victor's even has both a morning and evening happy hour, and Victor's now accepts dinner reservations too. Stop in and try some delicious authentic Cuban cuisine like ropa vieja and seafood paella. Make your reservation and learn more at victors1959cafe.com. Victor's 1959 Cafe, revolutionary Cuban cooking.
Art lovers, it's time to celebrate, learn about, and collect local art at the St. Paul Art Crawl, running April 26th to 28th. The Spring St. Paul Art Crawl, presented by the St. Paul Art Collective, is a must-do experience that you will love. Over the weekend, you will have the chance to explore a wide variety of art while touring through local artist studios, lofts, and galleries. Up for purchase will be paintings, photography, pottery, sculpture, fiber arts, and more. The Art Crawl sprawls over 34 locations. Join the Art Crawl and discover outstanding art for your own. And when you buy local art, you're providing to artists so that they may continue to create the art we love. The Metro Transit is supporting the local art community too, with free transit passes. Download your pass to ride buses and light rail for free during the Art Crawl. Be sure to get details at stpaulartcrawl.org. That's stpaulartcrawl.org.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Catch New Beginnings with Freddie Bell, Saturdays at 11 on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hey community, this is Cian Thomas from ABC Realty. We represent a diverse team of realtors here at ABC, and we're rooted in your community. We are the only brokerage with an intentional focus on the east side of St. Paul. We specialize in helping first-time homebuyers and people of color to find the home and the neighborhood of their dreams. We have agents who speak Spanish and Hmong, and to keep pace with the ever-changing demographics of the east side, we're adding agents who speak the languages of our communities. We're accessible and we're available for you. Face-to-face and over the phone, we'll help you each step of the way, whether you're buying or selling. We'll discuss the value of home ownership and how it can be leveraged to build your future. We are here for you, ready to put our experts to work for you. So learn more about us here at abcrealtytwincities.com. That's abcrealtytwincities.com.
Welcome back to Connections Radio Show. We're so glad that you're here and you've joined us today. We've been talking about the St. Paul Art Crawl, and we're continuing to talk about it. We've had great artists share with us. I should mention my name. I'm your host today, Lori Fitz of Connections Radio Show. The folks that we've had, Gene Kushner, big round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you. Great music there. And you will have your shows at the Northern Warehouse?
Yeah, Northern Warehouse in Lower Town, St. Paul. Still alive and well.
Yes.
In spite of gentrification.
It's surviving. And to go to your website.
Studio 24 Guitars.
And he's got really cool guitars. They're artistic. You do guitars for all sorts of interesting people too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Throughout the country.
They're all custom guitars, and everybody has some quirk that they want to express in their instrument.
And if you've got a quirk that you want to instrument, he's the guy to talk to make that dream become a reality. We also have Ryan Werbolowski. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
So glad that you were here today to talk about the cover of the catalog. It is whimsical, it is thoughtful, it is surreal, and it has a thoughtfulness.
Thank you.
That I enjoy. So go get the catalog, or at least go to the stpaulartcrawl.org and check out this wonderful cover. Also on the event flyer that has the map and all the cool events, we have both Ryan's work, but we also have Jeff Henson's work. Jeffrey Henson. Jeffrey, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks again, Lori. It was awesome.
Absolutely wonderful to have you. Love to explore your circle in your mixed media. And to get to your art, you can go to www.jhenson, and that's HANSEN, artist.com.
That is correct.
And you can read about his story of how his art has evolved and the circles that it has taken in it and the circles he's now expressing. And now we have Mary Jo Smith. Welcome, Mary Jo.
Thank you, Lori.
You've been so patient as you've listened to all these other artists talk about the work that they do. I'm now excited to talk about the work that you're doing. You have, cute as a bug's ear, a little house that celebrates art that folks can go see.
That's true.
It's so welcoming. You've got lovely gardens.
Thank you.
And the gardens are something that really intrigue you, as I remember you've been on our show before.
Yes, yeah. I love all things that grow, indeed.
Well, I did buy a piece that had a dragonfly, and you've got they come to life in such a magical way. And what a lovely opportunity to bring that into your home. You know, to bring the garden into your home with what you eat and what you serve, and you've got bowls, and you've got mugs, and you've got plaques, and
tile.
Yep, and tile.
Baking dishes and covered casseroles,
and
dinnerware.
And you work with other artists. Tell me about the other artists that are going to be with you. You've got some potters, a jeweler, sculptor, fiber artist, pen and ink.
Right, correct. Well, first of all, it's perfect to be on the Connections radio show because for me, the St. Paul Art Crawl is the way that we connect with the neighborhood in our area. And yes, I invite usually up to about 9 artists into the studio for the weekend. And, of course, mostly potters, but we also have jewelers, fiber artists, and a pen and ink artist and a sculptor this year.
Now, when I came a few years back and visited your place, there were events. There seems to be just like fun things that So I want to encourage you. I can't tell you all the different things because she would become overloaded with people coming for all these things, but come and be surprised.
Right.
There are things to do and things to explore and hands-on opportunities when they come to your home.
That's correct. And sometimes a little bit of chaos as well.
Yes.
So be prepared for some of that. But we do provide aprons, and everybody has a great time.
And there's music.
There is, yes. My husband, neighbors, kids in the neighborhood.
And everybody gets loved up. As soon as you walk in the door, you feel like you're a party and that you've been invited and that you've been coming here for years because it's the party to go to.
All right. We like that. Yep.
So tell me about some of the other artists and the work that they do. The Potters probably are doing a little bit different work than you're doing. You celebrate the garden and the insects and the whimsical, but you have other Potters as well.
I do. And, listening with the other guests today, I came to realize I'm going to kind of be the fine craft anchor of the St. Paul Art Crawl. Mm-hmm. So all the artists in my studio really make fine craft that you use in your life. Mm-hmm. So we have a beautiful jeweler. She makes beautiful stone and sterling silver jewelry, Jenny Lavernier. Mm-hmm. The Potters this year are Steve and Lyndon Wickland. They are a husband and wife team, just fantastic ceramic artists.
And Brett's also?
Yep, Brett Monahan is an excellent potter. He actually does work at Front Avenue Pottery as well. Okay. Ryan Ball, he is,
how would you characterize his art?
Brett. Functional, beautiful, soft, buttery glazes. He makes the world's best coffee pour-over cones. I mean, they're just beautiful. We all make dinnerware, servingware, tableware.
So really nice. It's coming up to the wedding season.
Right.
If you know folks that are getting married, more and more people want something unique in their home and not so much registering for China anymore. Right. It's, what are the things that make them feel good? How does art and something unique be special? So
absolutely. Graduation's
good too.
Mm-hmm. A little dorm room pottery plate and cup and soup cup.
Or you may just want to start, fresh. You might have had your glassware for years, and now you want to have some earthenware that speaks more to you and to who you are and who you've become. Mm-hmm. Love it. Think about that. Sculptor. Tell me about Chrissy.
Okay, Christy Casey makes these fabulous small houses, and she custom makes them to reflect your own life. So you can bring her found objects and she will incorporate them into a small, probably a tabletop sculpted house shape. Wow. And I don't know, Lori, how would you describe them? They're kind of rustic. They're definitely not bright colors.
They're very personal.
Mm-hmm,
and so I think if you bring something, it almost the one that's being shown here almost looks like a little gingerbread house.
Yes, and to see them in person, they're.
So you're getting fired up in South Como.
Yes.
And so I'm coming to the end here. I got to let you know, you got to go to the stpaulartcrawl.org for more information. You've listened to these artists. Get inspired. Get involved. Go have fun. Do it. Meet people. Enjoy. That's right. We'll be looking forward to having artists next week as well.